Well, hello guys, and welcome back to the channel, Never Too Old. We were away at the weekend. We went up to Belfast to see a fantastic play called In the Name of the Sun. It was a portrayal of Jerry Conlon, one of the falsely accused of the Guildford 4 bombings. It was amazing. What I had done before we left is put those temporary benches in that you might be able to just see under the temporary bed. But now I have to remove all of this stuff, and we're going to start on putting the hinges on the benches. What I need to do, I won't bore you with it, what I need to do before that though is cut an inch maybe off all the supporting posts, because I made it and then sat on it and realised that Trevor and I are just too short. Let's get rid of this crap and then I can crack on. So this is what I used to stabilise the benches for the mattress underneath. Let's get these unscrewed. So it's just started raining again, so I've set myself up a little cover so I can actually do some work. Otherwise it'll be another wasted day like it was the other day. Well, it wasn't a wasted day, but it made it a hell of a lot more difficult because I had to do it in the back of the bloody van, which I assure you was a pain in the arse. Anyway, cracking on. So herein lies my issue. I originally made these posts 15.5 inches. So that's what they are, 15.5 inches, and everything was wonderful, and yes, there we go, 15.5 inches. I'd measured the chairs inside the house to see how comfortable we would be sitting, and so I added this timber and this timber to this timber and came up with the number that we were thinking of. The problem was I forgot about the extra frame that would be on the top for the lift up lid, the hinge lid. And Trevor and I are not tall people. I'm 5'2" and Trevor is 5'5" or 6, slowly shrinking because I keep on bashing him on the head. We'd be sitting like two little kids with our legs dangling, because this would work out if I put another extra 1.25 inches, which I think this is an 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. It's just under 1.5 inches. This would nearly work out to be about 21 inches, and then you've got the cushion that's going to go on top of that. So my job now is, and there's 15 of them, is to take all these support posts off and cut 1 inch off to make room for the 1.5 inch post that's going to go on the top. I might actually cut 1.5 inches off, so if I do them at 14 all the way along, then we've got loads of room for the cushion, the plyboard and this bit of timber. So, I'll come back when I'm done. Alright, so that is that bench all done and dusted, and all the posts. I'm going to do that bench later, but I want to get this other thing started. So I have really thick timber here. It's 1.5 by 3.5, and it is going to be used as the frame that holds the end of the bed. So the counter is going to be from this line more or less across here, which is where the top of the bed will be able to sit and be supported, but I need something for the bottom of the bed. So I'm going to have 2 pieces of this big fella. Stay. Oh yeah, there you go. Stay, move over. Yeah, 2 big pieces, don't ask, 2 pieces of this big fella here, and then another 2 on the opposite side, and I'm going to make a frame. So 2 pieces here, 2 pieces there, top piece at the bottom piece, and then a piece across for support. So before I put the bench back, I need to do that, and then I need to cut the bench to size. I mean, the way I did the benches the other day, and I know I'm making work for myself, but I did the benches fully the other day because we were going away for a couple of the nights, so we needed the benches for the bed. Right, now I need to start measuring. Alright, so this is my first couple of cuts done. That's the top piece. This is the L piece that's going at the bottom on the floor. So this piece will go on the floor. This piece is on the further part of the van. I have left a little bit of a centimetre because I want to frame this in, you can see that I'm making it gauzy, in plywood. Obviously I don't want to leave it naked, it looks stupid. So now I'm going to do a couple of bevels in the bottom, drill the hole in and get these screws in to these two L pieces. Alright, so that's where we are so far. That's the basic structure done on this side. I now have to put a board in here to be drilled in here. It's going to be against the wall, obviously, because there's nothing else to hold on to come to this point down here. So I need to measure that. And then I want another piece at the bottom to come across and another piece at the top to come here. Just for that added thing, either that or a piece that goes from here across here, just to keep it in place. I don't know, I haven't decided which one I'm going to do yet. So I'm going to measure this and get this cut, and then decide if I'm going to do the same kind of basic principle. I mean, I could do one right across here and then another board up here. That might be the better idea. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay. Onward and upward. It looks like a giant P for Pamela. That's tradesman's signature if I've ever seen one. Alright, so that's where we are so far. Pretty much the main thing that's been done. I have now to screw it all in to the... Oh my god, I'm tired. I need to screw it into the wall and into the floor. Yeah, hopefully it should just be at my drill around there. So I'm going to just demonstrate something, because it's only one. It's one of the frames that is going to hold the bed. Now, if this doesn't fall, and you've seen the size of me on my videos, so trying to get a grip of something so we can stay up here. There you go. Right, I'm not holding on to anything, and that's me standing on, and then kneeling on, hands free, on my supports. So, taking into consideration that I'm going to have one this side and one that side, I think the bed at the end is going to be pretty secure. So I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite thrilled. I didn't actually plan it to look like a P or a Q, depends on your view. But yeah, I'm actually quite pleased the way they've turned out. I wasn't sure how I was going to do it. I just knew I was going to make sure they were super strong. So I'm going to get screwing into the floor, into the walls, and then I need to get some plywood cut to build around the frame on this side and the top and the front. There was a massive big downpour earlier, but it's gone now, thank God. So I'm glad I put the tarpaulin up, otherwise my my saw would have got a little bit wet. Alrighty, now that's nice and neatly boxed in, I can start on the bench. I know it doesn't look very particularly attractive right now, but it is getting covered. So I haven't decided whether I'm going to cover it with fabric or, yeah, I haven't decided what I'm going to cover it with, but it will get covered because it looks a bit tacky like that. So yeah, one job done. On to the next one. Alright, so that's the bench frame cut to size and back in place. I now need another frame exactly these lengths, so it's 18 inches at the far ends and then 104 millimeters at the front and then 104 millimeters at the back. This is going to sit on the frame. This is the frame that's going to lift up and be the hinge for under seat storage. Alright, so I plan on routing out a recess to put my hinges in, but because it's a plunge router, it's heavy going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a wee jig here. So I'm going to trace around the hinge. Okay, and then I'm going to drill in here and then I'm going to cut out this hole. Now I might actually end up using the router to cut out the hole, but once I've got the hole cut, I will then be able to put it on my 2 planks of wood. I hope you can see that. My 2 planks of wood, like so. Attach it with double-sided tape, she says, hoping that I have enough wood to attach to. And then use the hole that I've cut to do a recess, because it's quite soft wood. It's not very hard wood. It's quite soft wood, and I want to make sure that I don't completely tear the arse clean out of it. All right, so let's get doing that. So I have my wood clamped together and my wood clamped to the table. What I'm doing is I'm putting this hinge so that the back end of it is directly on the line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace around that first, and then we'll put the jig on. And I realise that I don't have any double back tape, so I'm going to have to screw the jig on. Okay, so that's our outline, and the jig goes like so. So I'm going to screw these into place and then we'll get the router going. Oh, it's been a while since I've used this. I'm just going to remember how to use it. So when I put this down, this locks and I can go around. I think I'm okay. I think I know what I'm doing, she says. Now I'm going to turn it down to 2 just for now so we can get on it. Okay. Nearly done. I missed a bit. Just a tiny bit there. I'm just going to see. I need to unscrew this to see if it's down enough, but I think it's okay. Just need to do that little tiny bit in the corner. No, I've just gone a wee bit too deep, so probably not deep enough actually. Well, yeah, I think I need to go a little tiny bit deeper, and then there's a little bit of an edge bit here that I haven't done, so alright, I'll put it back in again and do that little bit more. This is, and now gone too deep. I knew that would happen. And I thought my stopper would have stopped it, to be honest. I thought I had my stopper set. Maybe I have my stopper set too, just too much. So let's change that. Yeah, that's better. But probably too late now. Right. It is my second time using this router, so I'm not being overly hard on myself. Okay, so she's still not entirely in, and I'd like her to be on a little tiny bit more. So I'm going to drop my stop just a little tiny bit more and do it again, just another 1 over. Right, I'm going to crack on with it, and then I'll come back and show you when it's done. Okay, so that's me done there. I think that's as deep as I want it to go. There we go. Our bench. I wonder if I should not have inset those a little bit more. The overhang here is quite a bit, but then as it's worked out in my favour, as sometimes it does, not often but sometimes, I'm going to have plywood here at the front. So it'll actually work out that this will be flush with the plywood, which, handy enough. Strong though. Doing, 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 doing. Okay, so all there is left for me to do now is put plywood on this top frame. So I'll get that done and then I'll bring you back and show the finished product. Open sesame. little bit stiff. Okay, so there's obviously an issue here because of the board. Alrighty, as usual, not without problems. I've had to replace this board because it was too thick, so I've cut this one back, put a thinner bit in. It's still too stiff. I'm going to have to sand it back a wee bit, maybe on this. See, this stuff, it's all right, but I can see even as I'm looking at it now, it's bowed. And I tried to pick, you get it from B&Q, it's 34mm by 34mm, and it's about 31 or 2 quid, and you get 4 big long strips. So they're handy in some ways, but in other ways they're really not, because they're not straight. So I think that's a bowed bit. I'll show you what I mean. So see that? That is not meant to do that. So it's not straight, and I did use this piece to cut these 2M pieces. So what I might do is just get another, go down back to B&Q and get some more, because I'm really out of this now, and cut another one of these and see if that makes the difference. But that aside, I have solved-ish the problem. Let's test her out, shall we? So there we go. I don't know whether you can see my feet, but that's without the cushion on, and I'm not, my heels are not on the floor, and I'm wearing quite thick sole trainers. So yeah, you could imagine now, take into mind I'm sitting that really far back, so I mean, if I put myself forward a little bit, because that's going to be where the cushion is at the back. So yeah, you know, and obviously the table here and the counter here. Another job done. Oh, never ends. But you know what, slowly but surely, I mean, so much has got done in this van in the last sort of couple of months, and I'm really happy. So that's all for now, folks. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a subscribe if you're not already. Say hello in the comments. I don't get many comments, very sad. I'd like more comments. Could I please have some more comments? Thank you very much. Right, that's me. Always remember, you're never too old.